Pro Boxing Fans here with Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie, another boxing event. Let's go through that card. Richard Riakporhe with the impressive 5th round stoppage against a durable opponent, somebody who's been there and fought at top level. Just talk to me about it.
Duradolo only has lost to top guys, so Riakporhe getting a win over him is a good look on his resume. It's a good feather in his hat. He got a stoppage win. But it showed good patience and intelligent boxing, and got him out at the right time. I thought it was a good performance, and he'll continue to grow and look for the next step in his career now. Now he's beating an ex-world title challenger, so I think you can start to maybe mention him in with the likes of, I would have said Makabu. Makabu's probably going to get Canelo, but guys like that for sure.
He's been out for a long time, but that WBC silver that he's picked up, what does that do for a fighter?
It just puts him in a position to, be in the top rankings. Put yourself in a position to get closer to a mandatory spot. Be in a position to, get a bigger fight. Right now I don't really think it's about the belt until you win a world title. I think it's more about just getting yourself up the ratings.
Another fight I want to talk about, Dan Aziz picking up the British title against Jose Alberto. We saw Tyson Fury ringside watching his cousin unfortunately lose. Just give me your thoughts on that.
Very impressive performance by Dan Aziz. I thought this was a legitimate 50-50 fight going in, and Aziz really ran away with it, really broke down Burton. Really creative boxing, made up for the height difference, closed the gap, and landed some good shots, and eventually got his man out of there. Very impressive performance by Dan Aziz.
There was a kid who made his second pro fight. He looked like he'd been fighting for a long time in Adam Azim. He had the crowd behind him.
Yeah, Adam and Hassan, right? Yeah, both brothers. We'll see if Boxer has another version of the Cholo brothers, right? We're having two brothers who are top-level fighters. I think these guys have a lot of potential. We'll see how far they can go, but they look like the goods, and I think they've had the great amateur career. They got a great trainer in Shane McGuigan, so I think a lot of possibilities. Young guys seem to have a passion for it. Judging from the crowd noise, they had a pretty good following, so I look forward to seeing their development as well.
Talk about the Cholos. I want to talk about Demetrius Andrade, who fought last night against Jason Quigley. Did you get to see that fight?
I didn't get to see the fight, no, but I heard Andrade did his thing. Same old talk. He's been with different promoters. They have trouble closing in on big fights for him. It's unfortunate. At this point. At
this point, does he just need to throw everything into maybe a fight with Cholo, because that's a fight that's been touted for so long?
It's just not that easy to make. Has it ever been easy to make? It's never been that easy to make. You have to work with different promoters. You have to. Why does he have to fight with Cholo when he signed with his own promoter and you can get his own fighters? Why do you have to start talking about this? Listen, man, everybody makes excuses. That's the problem with boxing. Everybody takes the fans have a favorite fighter, and then all of a sudden they join the politics of that fighter. Like, bro, just demand good fights, bro. Stop being corny. You know what I'm saying? People are so corny. Like they defend when fights don't get made. When the guys don't make the fights, well, he didn't want to fight this, bro. Andre does not choosing to fight Jason Quigley. You know what I'm saying? He's not choosing to fight those kind of guys. Or it's either fight those kind of guys or he doesn't fight anybody. What is he gonna do? He's gonna make a check. Please, so corny, bro. Seriously.
Talking about frustration and sort of stuff in boxing, we saw Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury were supposed to. The WBC was a mandatory, and it's not being called because
some other politics.
Other politics. So you talk about politics. This has just come into my mind. What do you make of that?
I don't know, man. There's some kind of arbitration going on, which I have no clue about. I don't know what the problem is there, so I can't really comment on something that I don't know the problem. But I do think it's a shame that Dillian Whyte, with the career he's had, has never fought for a world title. He's been the mandatory for a while. He didn't choose to protect his mandatory position. He took on tough opponents like Oscar Rivas and Alexander Povetkin while being in the mandatory spot. A lot of guys just rest on their laurels until they get that title shot. He didn't do that, and he's still not been rewarded with a title shot. So I don't know. Maybe you should just not take chances and wait till you get your title shot if that's the case, right?
That makes sense. Actually, just going back to the 160 division, who's the main man in that division for you?
160, I don't know. It's good fighters, Cholo, Andrade. There's good fighters. I don't know. Munguia had a fun performance last week as well. I don't know who the top guy is. Cholo and Andrade for me are the top two guys there. Munguia's fun. You can even make Munguia and Andrade at this point too. They're both at 160. Right?
What about Golovkin? What do you say? Do you think he's done? He's finished?
I don't know. Golovkin is older though. I don't expect a lot out of an almost 40-year-old. He's had a great career. I think he's going to end up underappreciated, unjustifiably so. I think he definitely won the first Canelo fight. I think you have a really good argument that he won the second Canelo fight too. So I don't know. I think he's not. he's older, man. What are you gonna do? You know, he's an older guy. I don't know where he's gonna stand in the mix.
So, final question for myself. We've been talking about boxing, but I want to talk about somebody who entered boxing and stayed around when we thought he might be in for a little while and go. Is Jake Paul fighting a proper fight in Tommy Fury this time? What do you make of that? What do you make of Jake Paul actually setting up a promotional company? You know, he's with Amanda Cerrone. He's got her under his wing.
I think Jake's done well. I think he's helped a lot of boxers, which is cool. I think Tommy Fury is just as much of a boxer as Jake Paul is, though. I don't think Tommy Fury is a boxer. I saw his box, and I don't think that's a guy that had the credentials or the amateur experience. I think he's a guy who, you know, is a reality star that went to boxing, just like all these reality stars go to boxing, but he happens to be a Fury, so there is a pedigree to the last name. There is a fame to the last name because of, you know, he does come from a fighting family. But based on what I saw Tommy Fury box, that guy's just as much of a boxer as Jake Paul. I doubt he had you know, an extensive amateur career or a thing of that sort, because he just didn't. He didn't look like a boxer that has that kind of experience. So I wouldn't, just because his last name's Fury, I wouldn't call him a proper boxer. I would call him a reality guy who's boxing, just like Jake Paul is a reality guy who's boxing, and it's a good fight. Yeah, honestly, it's like a 50-50 fight, which is what you want, all you can ask for.
Well, you know, with all the older fighters that come back and they're coming back now, has they enticed you to maybe make a return if their money was right?
I don't know, man. I've got some good situations going on with myself. I got a nice little gig here with Boxer. I've got some nice, good companies in the U.S., BlueMoonFight.tv and Pro Box Promotions that I'm working with in the U.S. I don't know if I have the time to train. And you know, everybody treats me very well. Even from Johnny Nelson, the ex-cruiserweight champion, interrupting. No, but I think I'm good right now.
Yeah.
I did that celebrity boxing show with Corey B. It was very hard to get motivated to even train. So, you know, I think I'm good.
Cool. All right, Paulie, thank you so much for giving me time this week. I know that I'll bump into you soon. Top man.